Kezia, like, why are you, so invested into this election?
I always say there are democracies and democracies.
South African elections are here.
The 29th of May, millions more South Africans will exercise this most important democratic right.
The winner of this election is the one who divided the black vote.
Do you see yourselves overtaking the DA then?
We see ourselves overtaking the ANC, not the DA. The DA is small boys. We have no time for small boys. We're going for the real giant.
Anyone who gets less than 5% should never resuscitate back into the ballot papers. Ever.
Politics and religion is a sensitive topic. How y'all feeling? Brothers, y'all alright? It's Kezia, also known as Nambuso, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so we all know that the South African election is here. So I had to educate myself, and I learned a lot. About the upcoming election. And there were a lot of things that are very different from my home country, the US, but there were some similarities. So let's get into it and let's talk about how are South Africans feeling about this election. The other day I was watching Mac G's Podcast and Chill, and I was so glad that I caught this episode because it was so informative. They were talking about elections. Mac G wasn't there, but of course Saul brought the puns, and they bring information in such an entertaining and fun way. So I learned so much, and I also learned that we have similar issues all over the world. The US, one of the big debates is their border security. That's always an issue in election season. And South Africa shares that same sentiment. So it was interesting to see everybody's different takes on the border security. Check it out.
How do you feel on open borders? Because your boy is a big...
No. Guys, hear me out. It's important to differ with even the people you support and you value.
It's healthy.
It is healthy.
Yeah.
I am not for open borders at all. If it is, let me tell you, I know he's not the best example to use, but Donald Trump is the solution right now. The way...
On the border policy.
On the issue of the border policy. You can't have open borders when you haven't even cleaned your backyard.
Another thing that I noticed is how the politicians play into the people of color or the black vote. In the US, a lot of times during election time, you will get the politicians to go to the black churches to try to sway the voters, to try to get into their heads to guarantee their votes. And it seems like it's no different here. So there was some things that brought up that really sparked, some thought.
The winner of this election is the one who divided the black vote. It's not who got the most vote. It's the one who engineered division of a black vote, because that is just apartheid 101 part 2.
What really kind of shocked me was the number of people who are actually running for these different political parties and positions. I was shocked.
For that, according to the IEC, we have 52 parties on our ballots. Have been cut, actually.
52?
Yes, they have been cut to 52. There was more than 52 before, but now there's only 52 on the ballot paper.
And for me to be informed, if I'm going to be living here in South Africa, to try to learn and get involved in any way. I love to volunteer. I love social services. I love community outreach, but I do still need to know the makeup of the country. No, I don't want to really get into debates or arguments about any type of political party or person in particular, but I do want to be informed. And if you are going to be living in a country, it's best to try to educate yourself as much as possible. Some people weren't really into, the political scene. They didn't really want to discuss it, which I understand, because politics and religion is a sensitive topic. But others were on the ground doing their civic duties, participating in civic engagement. And it was really, really beautiful to see. Throughout this electoral season, there has been so much civic engagement. I mean, every week there were people marching and passing out flyers, and it was just like so great to see. We don't really see that in the US. We'll see like the signs in front of people's houses, but we don't really hit the streets like that. So it really kind of like jolts you to kind of learn more. I was like, one day I'll get an ANC flyer. The next day, the next week it's someone from the EFF. So it prompted me to learn more. And I think that's important.
I want to see an ANC and EFF coalition.
South Africa's election process is so different from the electoral process that we see in other countries. South Africa has a two-part electoral system. First is the indirect election. The president of South Africa is not elected directly by the public. Instead, the president is chosen by the National Assembly, the lower house of parliament after general elections. Also, the parliamentary system. South Africa operates under a parliamentary system where the party or coalition with the majority in the National Assembly typically decides the president. Next is the general elections, which is held every 5 years. Voters cast ballots for political parties, not individual candidates. Seats in the National Assembly are allocated based on the proportion of votes each party receives. Now let's talk presidential terms. The president serves a term of 5 years. A president can be re-elected but can only serve a maximum of 2 terms. The key roles and responsibilities are executive authority, cabinet appointment, and policy direction. The African National Congress, also known as the ANC, has been the dominant party since the end of apartheid in 1994. The most recent general election was held in May 2019 with Cyril Ramaphosa being elected president by the National Assembly. South Africans' views on the ANC are varied and reflect a complex mixture of historical legacy, current performance, and future expectations. Here are some of the key sentiments.
Anything, and it's the same thing with voting. If you don't do anything, it's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. People are going to die. Listen, we have South Africa just now I'm on rant. Now I'm going to go off. No, my problem is that even now, after so many years, there's so much segregation in terms of housing. There's it almost feels like a pay scale rated by your race, right? And we still feel those things, and it's irritating. Because you think that we have ANC, these people that continuously tell us that, no, we're for black liberation, Amandla and stuff, right? But it's not that, and we all know it, we all see it. So for me, as much as I'm very proud of them for doing this one thing, why could you not do it for your own citizens?
Yes. Also grew up in Soweto, but some of the locals that I met said the ANC has lost touch with this community.
These people, they took the legacy of my children away. My children and I, we never enjoyed the legacy of this country. We never.
The ANC fought apartheid and won democracy for South Africa. But 30 years later, the romance has worn off and the realities have set in.
Okay, so 29 May has come and gone, and the polls are closed. How are you all feeling about the outcome? South Africans, please share how you guys feeling. Do you feel like you did all that you could to support your particular political party, or do you think that you could have did more? For the people who are registered to vote, do you think that, you know, the core demographic of people showed out for the right candidate to win? How do you guys feel? I'm so interested to hear your thoughts. As with any election, there has been some hiccups and some concerns, some false information that has been going around on social media, and there has been some things that are a little questionable.
Alex, where all the ballot papers are being put in one box, not in three separate as in other VDs. So is that allowed? If so, why? And then the second and last question would be, with the snaking lines right now, what would the IEC put the, anecdotally speaking, high turnout so far in any election? Is it down to the political parties or a mobilization by the commission itself? Thank you.
My name is Nafisa Dango. I'm supporting Salam Media. We've been having an issue where we've been getting phone calls from Ward 58. We have been at the polling stations there. There's a serious issue. People have been waiting for over hours. There's not enough resources to be able to deal with the voters, and the concern that was coming from the councillor was that many voters are going away and we tend to be losing out on votes. So how are we going to solve this problem? Are we going to add additional resources in order to assist to be able to get that line going?
Be short. There are allegations of a house that is owned by a political party member or leader in Mamelodi and Mafias that has been used as a voting station. Can you confirm if there's such, and how true is that? Thank you so much.
So now that the election is over, I hope everyone went out on 29 May and used their voice. How are you guys feeling about your new presidential party or the person that's going to be representing you? Do you think that everything played out well? Do you think that there may have been some corruption? How do you all feel? Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Miracles and blessings. Until next time.